Okay, good. So as I was saying, like we often say, making MICE travel easy. That's one of our motto at Easia. We want to make sure that we take care of everything and that everything is easy for you and your guest. Okay, so now, okay, right. So why should you do some MICE projects in Vietnam? Obviously, Vietnam is a beautiful country and also a very interesting country. There is a lot of diversity in Vietnam. When we think about landscapes, we've got like stunning scenery from the mountains in the north to the beach all along the coast, and then the beautiful Mekong Delta in the south. And all those regions are very well connected, which makes traveling quite easy here. We also have fascinating history and culture, opportunities to meet with locals and have very meaningful interaction with the local communities. I believe and I hope for you that you've already tried the Vietnamese food before, but if you have, then you will know that it's quite amazing. It's a very nice cuisine, not too spicy, so easy for everyone to eat. And we've got very good restaurants here, some of them to the Michelin standard. We can also offer a lot of different options for entertainment, and we can offer you like lots of creative and unique options for that. And when it comes to accommodation, the main regions also have a variety of hotel capacities and styles that can suit all preferences. Just a few facts about Easia Easia Travel and the Incentive division. So we actually operate in 5 destinations: Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar. At the moment, obviously, due to the situation, we are not operating in Myanmar. We've got 11 offices across the world, and in Vietnam we've got 3 offices. So we've got one in Hanoi, one in Da Nang in the center part, we'll show you a bit later, and then one in Ho Chi Minh City. So that gives us a very good coverage of the whole country when it comes to operating, and especially large groups. And in total, we, as you can see, we're a lot of employees as well, about 400. How to get to Vietnam, right? That's probably one of the main questions when we think about incentive. We always wonder, okay, but how do I get there? Because I want it to be easy and as fast as possible. So unfortunately, we can't avoid the long haul from Europe. But the good thing is there are now direct flights from Frankfurt to both Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, which makes things much easier. So for Hanoi, we've got daily direct flights with Vietnam Airlines. And then to Ho Chi Minh City, it's at the moment 4 direct flights per week, meaning that you can easily combine like arriving in Hanoi, departing from Ho Chi Minh, and the other way around, for example. And we also have international flights to Da Nang, so not direct ones, connecting ones, but as like through cities such as Bangkok, Singapore, and other major hubs. So quite easy actually to come here. And then very visa friendly. So for Germany and Switzerland, there's a visa-free entry. And then for those from Austria, then there's an e-visa that needs to be done beforehand, and it's only $25 per person. When it comes to domestic connections, and you will see a little bit later during the presentation, but when you come here, usually you don't stay in one single destination. You would do at least 2. So you want to have like easy domestic connections, and that's great because that's what Vietnam has as well. So as you can see, there's a lot of national flights with a good frequency as well. And then it doesn't take too long to reach Da Nang from Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh from Hanoi. And we'll show you at the end of the presentation a few itineraries that we will recommend, and you'll see as well the flying times. Now, seasonality, weather. I don't know about you, but in my country, I'm from France. We talk about weather all the time. That's one, weather and food. So we always concerned about the weather whenever we go to a remote destination, and especially when we know that there might be some rains and etc. Because we want to make sure that our guests get the best experience. So as you can see, the weather in Vietnam isn't very easy to understand because the country is so long that you get different weather types depending on where you are. But if you want to remember, like a quick way to remember is that if you wanted to visit all regions, then you would prefer to travel at the beginning of the year, right? Now, if you only want to focus on the north and the south, then you rather travel towards the end of the year. Now we're going to talk to you about 3 main regions where we usually host groups, and they are like the most iconic regions in Vietnam. Of course, there's way more the country has to offer, but for groups, these 3 work pretty well. So first of all, we're going to talk about the north of Vietnam. So in the north of Vietnam, there are 2 very iconic places, I would say. The first one is Hanoi, the capital, right? Hanoi is a very interesting city. It's a mix of traditional and modern living. Here in Hanoi, you really get to see the local life. There's like a lot of part of the cities were destroyed during the war, so not everything is with ancient houses. However, we still have an old quarter where you'll be able to see a blend of French colonial and Vietnamese culture and buildings and etc., which makes it pretty beautiful. Then in the north, you also have Halong Bay, the very famous Halong Bay that we'll talk about a little bit later. And then you've got other less known regions such as Ninh Binh and Mai Chau, for example. So quite a few options when you come to this part of the country. And then like a diversity again of landscapes. You've got the mountain, you've got the river, and then you've got the bay, obviously. And then in Hanoi, we can offer a lot of different types of venues for dinner and meetings and etc. So just to give you a little bit more information about Hanoi, as I said, capital, rich in terms of culture and authentic experiences, also a great base when you want to explore Halong Bay. The old quarter I was telling you about before, so you can see there's water in Hanoi because there's a lot of lakes actually. There used to be much more, but they had to dry them out to build. But we still have a few lakes, which makes the city quite airy and very nice to walk in. It's a slow-paced life here. You wouldn't tell when you try to cross the street, but I'm telling you, it's much slower than Ho Chi Minh, for example. And then obviously, so we would recommend a city tour in Hanoi, right? For the guests to enjoy this very special city. Now, there are different ways of doing a city tour in Hanoi. Of course, you can take your guests in a standard vehicle, I would say. But we recommend, if you can, to offer different transportation options. So for the most adventurous, we can do a city tour with Minsk. So at the top left of the screen, you can see those motorbikes that come from Russia and from the war period. Or you've got the Vespa as well. But both are great experiences. Obviously, the participants don't drive themselves. They've got a driver, and everything is done in terms of security. That allows you to go through like small alleys and to get to some neighborhoods where you wouldn't go otherwise. With our partner, the Minsk partner, we tend to craft itineraries where guests are taken off the beaten tracks, and they can see neighborhoods where they would never go otherwise, which is great. Otherwise, you can do what we call the cyclo here, the rickshaw at the bottom left. Very traditional as well and quite interesting. Obviously, you don't go as far, but that's also a nice way to visit the city. And for those who are not that adventurous and want a little bit more comfort, we can offer a jeep tour. Just a few activities we wanted to tell you about in Hanoi. Obviously, there's a huge panel of options that we can offer. But for example, if you are into something a little bit more, a little bit cultural, then it's easy to add this activity, calligraphy activity, when they visit the Temple of Literature, which is the most important temple in Hanoi. Very interesting history in that temple. And then we can organize a short and sweet encounter with a calligraphy master in an area that we can privatize. There's shade and it's nice. And then every guest can try to do a calligraphy himself. And then the master will do one nice one for each of the guests that they can take home. So quite a nice and special moment. We can obviously organize any type of sub-team buildings if they want to do that. We organize like hunts in the city. We can craft those hunts, based on where the client, which industry the client is from. So imagine that you've got a client from the automotive industry or the pharmaceutical industry, then we can organize the stops accordingly. There's a street. Hanoi is full of streets that are organized by name. So you've got the toy street, for example, where you only find toys, or you've got the car parts toys street, where you only find parts to fix either the car or the motorbikes. So it's very easy to organize specific and special themes for those team buildings activities. We can also, and we actually find that it's a great activity to offer. We can do Tai Chi or yoga classes. So the photos you can see right now, they are actually just outside the Sofitel Metropole Hotel. So as I said, like the city is quite airy, and then there's a few small parks where we can organize those classes with yogi or Tai Chi master. Usually that's something that the guests like particularly. It's another way to get into the local culture. Cooking classes, obviously, we do a lot in Asia, but we can always give them a special twist. So they're not, they're more unique than what we can think of them. So we don't have to do a full meal, for example. We can focus on one specific dish. If we have any requests for vegetarian dishes, we can do that, because in Vietnam we eat a lot of veg, for example, so it's very easy to organize. And we can do that either in a private villa, in a nice local house, in a nice garden, and we can offer different types of food. We also try to push, if they are interested in, the guests to do like a food tour, which can be easily combined with a Vespa tour, right? So you do your food tour on a Vespa, so you get both of you get all of the both experiences, which is great. And then and it's also a good moment to try a few different things. And then on the top right, something that's quite interesting to do, you might just see a sandwich. Actually, it's a Vietnamese sandwich. It's called banh mi, and it's very famous here. And this is great as well for cooking classes, because it's quick, it's fun, and then a sandwich is maybe less, people get less worried about a sandwich, I'd say, sometimes than traditional food. Hanoi also has a lot of versatile and unique venues for the special moments you want to organize. So from like fancy gala dinners that we can do, for example, at the National Museum of History, a vibey event on the rooftop. So there's a lot of rooftops here in Hanoi. Most of them belong to hotels. So the reason why we like this one in particular, apart from the view, because it's very high, is because they've got a separate entrance. So we don't want to take guests through hotels to reach out to the rooftop. but that's also a great thing. You can organize a cocktail or a dinner. And then for if there's any request for day meetings, for example, something, or even at night, but something a little bit more traditional and maybe a little bit more formal, we also have options such as the Hanoi Art and Culture Center. So with this presentation, we just want to show you that you've got plenty of options and you can do very different things. And that can suit very different clients as well. In terms of accommodation in Hanoi, there's quite a few properties, and the good thing about it is that most of them are quite different as well. So again, there's something for all tastes and all budgets as well. This one is the famous Sofitel Metropole. It's an iconic property in Hanoi. It's quite a big property. It's over 300 rooms, but it's like your classical, and it's a guarantee that the service is excellent, and then we never get any complaints. And it's located near to the old quarter in a very nice area. Very nice property indeed. They've got two different wings. They've got the heritage one and the opera one, which is a little bit more modern. We've got the famous Capella Hanoi. So for those clients who are looking for something a bit smaller, because this is more of your boutique hotel with about, I think, 47 rooms. This is your Vietnamese style, a little bit, as you can see, heavy, classic and modern at the same time. But it's a great property as well. So another nice option located in the same neighborhood as the Sofitel. And then otherwise, a little bit further out by one of the biggest lake, so more like northwest of the city center, we've got the Intercontinental. Also, as you can see, nice views, nice vibe on the water. So another great option. Of course, we've got way more options than that, but we just wanted to show you the differences you can find. Moving on to Halong Bay. So obviously Halong Bay is one of the boxes that people want to tick when they come to Vietnam, right? And they're right, because it's an amazing place and it's beautiful. The landscape is beautiful. Now, I think it's important to mention that it's important to manage expectations when people want to go to Halong Bay. This photo you're looking at the moment only has a few boats, right? Well, this was taken a few years ago, because if you go now, I mean, you'll see way more boats on Halong Bay. And we're not gonna lie, there's no way you can avoid that. It is a crowded place. It's victim of its success, definitely. But I mean, definitely a stop that's almost always included in any program in Hanoi. It's an easy drive from Hanoi. It's about 2.5 hours to get to that UNESCO World Heritage Site. And then usually the guests will overnight on one of the boats. I'll show you the boat just now, but just so you know, so one night on the boat, and then we organize from the boat activities in the bay. So there are different routes in Halong Bay where the boats go to, but mainly the activities would be, they would stop on one island or another. They would visit the caves. They can do kayaking if they're interested. And then on the boat, we can easily organize a cooking class if they haven't done it before, a Tai Chi or yoga class if they haven't done it before. Sorry for the noise. And then obviously guests will normally like relax and enjoy the nice landscapes around. Another very famous activity is to do a scenic flight above the bay, which is great. This is done by seaplane. Very great experience, amazing scenery. It's about a 25-minute flight. And just so you know, like there's only 2 aircrafts on the bay. So we can do rotation, obviously, for groups. Usually these are 12 seaters, but we wouldn't put more than 8 or 9, and it works with the weight of the people as well. This is also something you can do from Hanoi. You can actually fly from Hanoi into the bay with a seaplane. In terms of accommodation, so the boats that we use, so as I said before, there are plenty of boats at the bay. You might have in mind those junk that we see, you know, those traditional wooden boats that we normally see when we think Halong Bay. They are still existing, but they're only for day trips. So actually, they're only for the local market right now. Like no international uses them anymore. And when it comes to the big boats like that, where you overnight, it's not allowed anymore to build wooden boats for safety reasons. So all the boats are like that pretty much. You've got different sizes, obviously, and I'll show you just now. So we work with different partners. We tend to go to the best boats just to ensure the quality on board, the quality of the food as well, the service, and etc. So these are a few partners we work with, such as Indochina Cruises. They've got a few boats, and as you can see, they're not too big, like 32, 37 to 47 cabins. So if you've got small groups of sometimes single participants, it's actually really nice. And then it also works for bigger groups as well. In any case, we would always do private boats for the groups. This is another type of boat and another one. As you can see, they've got different levels of luxury, I would say. And then this is the type of dinner they can organize on deck. Very nice, obviously, quite fancy with the sunsets. It's a very nice experience. Now, moving on to Ninh Binh. So I don't know if you remember the map I showed you just at the beginning, but Ninh Binh is slightly south of Hanoi. This is great for a day trip if the group has enough time in Hanoi. If they are a little bit tight with the time, then it's okay to not go to Ninh Binh. But if they do have that extra day, we definitely recommend to go to Ninh Binh. It's actually a very nice area as well. We call it the Halong Bay on land. As you can see, you get the same type of mountains. It's just you've got the river instead of the sea. It's a nice area to do like boat rides, for example. You can visit an ancient temple where we would usually do a private lunch, which is really nice because it's not only about visiting a temple, because sometimes people are not that interested in that. It's more like using the temple as a venue for a nice lunch, which is actually really great. And again, we mix two different experiences at the same time. So yeah, Ninh Binh, stunning natural landscapes, peaceful villages and local life, and an easy day trip from Hanoi. This is the temple I was telling you about. And another region in the north, which is slightly further out from Hanoi. So you need about, Ninh Binh is 2.5 hours drive from Hanoi, I forgot to tell you. And Mai Chau is about 4 hours. So it's further. So again, it's not for everyone, and it might be an alternative to something else, or it might be for a group that only wants to stay in the north, for example. But beautiful landscapes, lots of mountains. It's lush, lots of vegetation, and lots of ethnic groups that you can meet and do activities with. There's a lot of immersion in that area. There we would use Havana Retreat, which is a beautiful property, as you can see. Great as well for groups that are large enough. If we can privatize it. We've got, is it 34 or 37, Hoi An? I think it's 37 rooms, if I'm not mistaken. And a very nice option as well to organize different types of activities. So this works really well for groups because we can accommodate a lot of different requests. But again, It's just a bit further, a little bit out of the way. As you can see, we can organize a nice dinner or a cocktail by the waterfall. This is on property. And yeah. And this is for the north. So I'll let my dear colleague Vu An to tell you about the rest of the regions.
Thank you, Sophie, for the wonderful introduction to the north of Vietnam. Now let me take you to the central region. The central region we call is a great combination of big relax and historic, cultural, and local interact all in one trip. So Da Nang, you can see in the map, it is we call like it's the heart of the central region. From Da Nang, we have it. Da Nang own is international airport, and from Da Nang you just take a short drive to the charming Hoi An town, and or you can easily connect to our imperial way through the beautiful coastline. And next, for Da Nang, Da Nang, for all the incentive group, we encourage the incentive group stay in Da Nang because we come to Da Nang for the big relax. So we hope looking for the big fun resort, right? And in Da Nang, we have many options for the big fun resort. Like we have options for all-inclusive package resort. We have the boutique resort, luxury, and wellness resorts as well. And if you have the MICE request, Da Nang is also very well equipped to host a MICE group from the small size to the big size. We also have many options for the meeting venue, include the big ballroom or flexible breakout rooms, big front meeting space, and the room with, you can imagine like the room with bright natural daylight and with a refreshing sea breeze. And next for the Hoi An. Hoi An, as I mentioned before, Hoi An just about a short drive, 20 and maximum 30 minutes from your Da Nang Beach Resort. We do all the day trip, the local experience here in Hoi An, and some the special dinner venue will also operate here in Hoi An. So Hoi An is famous for its lantern street, and on the street you also can find some many charming craft shop. And one of the special, especially in the Hoi An, is the tailor. The tailor here is very talented. Let's say if you have a photo or a magazine page, then you bring to show it to the tailor. They can make the costume without 1 or 2 days. So you can have your special costume for the gala dinner in just 1-2 days. Yeah. And next in Hoi An, we can visit Cha Quế Village. It's a peaceful farming village known for the organic herb and traditional garden method. So when we take the groups here, the group can hands-on experience um, all the garden technique here. They can do the planting, the harvesting, and we also can collect the ingredient that we grow here in the village. We can do the cooking class, or we can enjoy the lunch and dinner. We call the menu is from the garden to the table. So all the ingredient is organic and it's taken care by the local. So this village is also an idea for all the CSR activity that you can do in the central region. So next in the central, you can, because Hoi An is a river town near the beach, so all the local activity is focused on the fishing. You can join with the local to take the boat to the river, join the fishing activities. They use very special technique for the fishing that you cannot find anywhere. If you want, you can join with the local, or you can stay on the boat and take a very amazing photo. Or you can just sit on the bamboo boat that you can see on the top right hand on the bamboo boat and we will ride through all the mangrove forest. Or you can do the lantern making. Okay, next we call is Hoi An in style. Hoi An in style, we can do lunch at the low-key restaurant in front of the field. Or if the group have the budget, we can bring the group to a villa owned by a famous chef. He will welcome the group, making the food, pairing with the wine. Or if the group want more activity, we can also operate in kayaking or easy paddle up through the mangrove forest. Maybe just sit on a Vespa or jeep through the countryside. Next, we will discover some outdoor event venue in the central. In the central, we have Saw Club. It's a big club in Da Nang. This club actually is very can accommodate for more than 200 people, but if you have the smaller size like 30, 40 or 60, 70, we also can prioritize the restaurant as a very reasonable price or a private lovely corner at this venue. Next venue we can find is the field. The field is a very special venue because the restaurant is right in front of the field. So here we can do lunch or special dinner. We can do like a welcome dinner or a farewell gala dinner here at the field with the cultural theme. We also can invite the local to come here. They can do some demonstration like rice harvesting, or they can do the craft demonstration for their daily life, like lantern making, mask making, pottery making, and then they will give each client one as a gift. As a gift. So next, we will visit Hue City. So if you have more time in Vietnam, let's say you spend the night in Hanoi or in Saigon, then take a flight to Hue, visit our imperial citadel, royal tomb. This city is rich culture, and the people say that when they come to Hue, they feel like they're living in the old time. Because the people here they still very authentic, slow pace. And after visit Hue, we can end the trip. The group can end the trip for 2 or 3 nights on the beach in Da Nang. So what we can expect in Hue? Hue is the home of the imperial city, royal tomb, ancient temple. We also can arrange lunch at traditional garden house. This garden house is very unique Hue style, which are more than 200 years old. And all the garden house, you will be welcomed by the owner. You can see in the picture, the owner, she is the first overseas Vietnamese intellectual. She studied in Germany and back to her homeland. She still remained a professional in a university in Munich for about 30 years. So next for the gala dinner in Hue, so come to the imperial city, right? So you can expect a royal dinner. So gala dinner we can do at the royal palace, or we can set up with a budget friendly inside a hotel or private garden villa. The guests will wear the royal costume, listen to live royal music, and enjoy the royal menu, all the food that used to serve the king and the queen in the old era. So let's take a few minutes to have see the video that we used to do for gala dinner in the imperial citadel. Yeah, please assist me with that, Sophie. Thank you. So next for the central part, we will check out some hotels. Central part we can have the main two options. One is you stay at the beachfront resort in Da Nang, or you can choose for the group stay at the Boutique City Hotel in Hoi An. But incentive group they come here typically come for the beach relaxation. So here we only select some a big size hotel, but beside you will have many other options. So yes, we check out Intercontinental Da Nang, a luxury resort with the with unique location on the private Bay of Son Cha, or a Four Season resort, modern and minimalist style resort of the villa. And next, we will have Hyatt Regency Da Nang, very convenient location, always on one of the top favorite resort because of good service and money value resort. And next, we have TR Wellness Resort, which is focused on the wellness treatment. The wellness treatment already included in the price daily. They get at least 80 minutes for the treatment. And now we will take the ride to the southern region of Vietnam. So as you know, Hanoi is the heart of the North Vietnam, and Da Nang is the heart of the central region, and Ho Chi Minh City we call it the heart of the southern region of Vietnam. Uh, and I have to say that traveling to Hanoi and Saigon offer two different vibes. Hanoi is more like traditional, slow pay, deep cultural and traditional root, local interact. Meanwhile, Saigon is more like feel like a modern, fun, nightlife with the high building, the buzzing market, and fast-moving lifestyle. So all the city, Hanoi, Da Nang, Saigon is Vietnam show, but just a different realm. So, and yes, next for Ho Chi Minh City, as I mentioned, this city is more suitable for the group that's looking for the active, the luxury life or nightlife fun activity. From Ho Chi Minh City, we can easily access to the other coastline in the south of Vietnam, like Mũi Né, Ho Cham, within 3 hour transfer by road, or just less than 1 hour flight to Phu Quoc. In Ho Chi Minh City, next we can visit the city tour with some all the iconic landmarks of the city, visit the Chinatown, the War Museum, and to improve the city tour experience, we can next include with the different vehicle like we can include with the rickshaw, we can include with jeep, but for Saigon, normally we suggest the group to do the city tour with the vintage car, because you only can do the vintage car in Ho Chi Minh City. Yeah, and in Ho Chi Minh City, we also can visit Pu Chi, which is about 2 hour transfer by land or 1 hour by the speedboat. And next, from Ho Chi Minh City, we also can take 1 day trip to visit the Mekong Delta. And in Ho Chi Minh City, we also can arrange a private luxury yacht. For the yacht trip, we can privatize the yacht for the sunset cruise, the dinner cruise, or take the day trip to the Monkey Island, also a mangrove forest in the south of Vietnam. And now next we will discover the event venue in Ho Chi Minh City. We have the Chill Sky rooftop bar. This rooftop bar can accommodate, also have the dining room. So it means we can bring the group here for the dinner, and after the dinner, they will enjoy the party energy at the bar. Or we can just let the group have dinner at another special venue, and after dinner, bring the group here for the late night drink. And next we have the deck. The deck is a stylish riverside restaurant, and a great escape from the Saigon city life. Enjoy the perfect blend of the cool breeze, river, and waterfront view. And also next in Saigon, we also arrange a private dinner in many special venues such as the the Independent Palace, or for the smaller side or to medium side group, we can privatize the Fine Art Museum for the group up to 60%. And talking about the hotel in Saigon, we have Park Hyatt, we have M Gallery, Hotel de Arts. This hotel have a beautiful rooftop bar and a rooftop swimming pool, and yes, Saigon have many wide range of hotel for you to select, but if you want a different vibe in Saigon, Saigon is famous for high building. So why don't we offer the group staying in the hotel with the view from the top, like the Reverie or the Landmark 81, amazing view from the room already. Yeah, and next we will fly to Phu Quoc Island, a tropical beach escape to relaxation. To take the flight to Phu Quoc is easy from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City. As I mentioned, from Ho Chi Minh City, just less than 1 hour, and from Hanoi, just 2 hours. And daily, we have more than 10 daily flights to Phu Quoc. And what we can expect in Phu Quoc, not only just big relax, but we can discover the island on the ship, include the pepper garden, coconut prison, the pagoda, etc. And when you come to the island, yes, for sure, you will expect the yacht, the catamaran, or the speedboat to the smaller island. This yacht, this trip, we can combine with the sunset cruise or half-day cruising, include the activity like swimming, snorkeling, fishing, and diving. And in Phu Quoc, you can also expect for the water sport. Here we offer many kind of water sport managed by the experienced team. Talking about the resort in Phu Quoc, we have Reason Phu Quoc, top luxury resort, and JW Marriott Phu Quoc, and Intercontinental Phu Quoc as well. Yeah, and yes, and that is for the 3 reasons. But talking about the gala dinner entertainment, we offer like all the entertainment we can offer through the 3 reasons of Vietnam, featuring rich cultural performance such as lion dance, welcome drum, lotus dance, or traditional costume fashion show. Or you can see the picture, the bottom picture. On the right hand, it's also a Vietnamese greeting, where the client when the client wear our traditional costume, and then they've been led by the local holding the touch, walking through the entrance of the temple. Very symbolic, memorable Vietnamese greeting. And next, we will also beside the traditional performance, we also can offer the modern entertainment such as DJ, acoustic set, Filipino dance, modern dance, or cocktail showcase.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you, Brian, for presenting these 2 extra regions. I'm just taking I'll just take over for the rest of the presentation quickly, because I know that we've already taken quite a bit of your time. We just wanted to mention to you that beyond the journey, and I think after this presentation, you can see that there's a lot of different things that can be done in Vietnam. So it's a very diverse program that you can offer. But beyond that, we also want to mention that Easia Travel, we are very into sustainability. It's a core value of ours. We are Travel Life certified and Child Safe certified. We launched a few years ago the refill not landfill water bottle just to avoid plastic bottles. Nowadays, it causes other issues, I guess, because now we have too many bottles. But just to show you that we are committed to sustainability and CSR actions. So there are many things that can be done with your groups, from making them participating into a handcraft activity to help the village, into a farming activity as well to help the locals. And then make sure that whatever is done, the money is used to a more communal project, such as fixing a school, for example, fixing a bridge, fish nets, building a water hole, a well for a village, or things like that. So there are plenty of options that we can offer to you depending on where the groups are going to. Of course, we will help you do anything that you need, from customizing absolutely everything that you want to customize. Obviously, from the greeting cards and menus and tailor-made cocktails and so on. We can offer special welcomes as well. We're always on the ground helping you. As I mentioned already several times, we are in the country. We've got a lot of people in different regions of the country, which helps a lot. And we just want to make sure that whatever itinerary your clients do, that they have a very special experience, and they really get something in their heart, I would say, to bring back home. Finally, just to summarize and hopefully to help you, because again, I know it's a lot of information. We've just put together a few itineraries that might help you. So you could do, for example, you can decide to do North and Central. So you do 2 nights in Hanoi, 1 night in Halong Bay, and then you go for 3 nights to Da Nang, where you're gonna get a mix of beach and heritage sites and culture. And you'll see on the right on the map, you've got the transportation times that helps a little bit. Then, or you can decide to do North and Beach. So again, 2 nights Hanoi, a night in Halong Bay, and then a pure, I would say, proper beach stay for 3 nights on Phu Quoc Island, where you won't get that much of culture and heritage sites, but it's only beach. Or you can decide to skip Hanoi and Halong Bay and focus on Ho Chi Minh City for a more vibey city life and a softer cultural experience, and then go to Da Nang to get the cultural part there and the beach, or you do Ho Chi Minh and Phu Quoc Island. Obviously, these are just 4 suggestions that we have for you, but we can craft anything really depending on your need and expectations. And that's it for us. Thank you very much for your time and for listening to us.